So a couple of weeks ago, probably months ago now, I jumped off a series about homeschool. So I thought I would stop rambling and rambling and rambling about stuff I wanted to talk about during this homeschool series, and now begin to delve into some of the questions that I have received as a result of the viewing of the videos in that series. Ask a question that I get asked quite often, and then when I answer it, people like give me these eyes like, you do what? Huh? So I'm going to just read that question right from my notes. How do you homeschool your child now that you work? Does she work independently, or does she physically go somewhere to do her work and to be taught? So everyone's homeschool journey looks quite different. I am actually a full-time working mama, and I am a 5th grade teacher by profession. I have been an educator in the public school sector for over 14 years, believe it or not. So I still work. I still teach in the classroom full time. I still go to work. I wake up early. Whew. Trying to wake up early, y'all. I'm trying. It's early. I still wake up, do what I gotta do with my newborn, and then get Ailani ready, and I go to work. I work. I'm still working. And I have been homeschooling my middle school aged girl for 2 years now. So this setup is not for the weak and inconsistent at heart, because trust me, it is very difficult, especially now that I have the baby, to keep myself on track. How do I homeschool now that I work is definitely takes a plan, a schedule, tenacity. So in my other video, I talked about talking to your child about their education. It is their education. So it definitely really helps that my little girl asks to be homeschooled and she wants to do it. So she has a high intrinsic motivation, and honestly, this is one of the only ways that I am able to homeschool and work at the same time, because she does not ever give me a difficult time about learning and about her schooling, which she does need. And I'm not going to sit and act like she's perfect, because she's a child. She's only 12 and she's learning. So she does need that encouragement, that push, that spark, that those fun things to keep things new and fresh for her each season of homeschool. So as a homeschooling mama, I have decided to school her year-round. That gives us flexibility to take days off when we need to, especially with her competitive gymnastics schedule. We have to travel, and we may not have to do any schooling on particular days. So the fact that she is highly motivated on her own is one of the ways that I'm able to do both homeschool and work at the same time. It definitely takes being prepared, having a plan, especially being a working mom, wife, doing everything else all at one time. You definitely need a plan, a plan, a plan, a plan. even if each night, each day, each homeschool session doesn't go in the way in which you envisioned it, you at least need to have a big picture plan, something that you want to do, the goals that you would like to achieve, the standards that you want to make sure your child is hitting. You want to have a plan. So me personally, I am my daughter's primary teacher, which means I don't use any online program or any outside source to teach her, because I am a teacher by profession. I feel comfortable teaching her in our home and me being her primary source or resource for her learning. I know not everyone is a teacher by profession and was not trained professionally or does not have a degree in education, so that may not be the route for you. So how do I homeschool now that I work? It takes me being prepared, having a plan, looking at the state standards, setting goals, also building a homeschool program that my child is going to be interested in, making sure it's fresh and it's new, okay? As a professional educator, someone who has a degree in education, I feel 100% confident in being my child's, well, wait, I'm not going to say 100% confident because that girl's smart. She was keeping me on my toes. So I feel, let's just leave the percent out of there. I do feel very confident in being my child's teacher because I know that I have the tools in my tool belt to be able to teach her. Now, as she continues to advance, especially next year for math, I definitely feel like I am going to have to go outside of myself to make sure that she is challenged. When I say go outside of myself, there are some things that I'm just not equipped to do, i.e. music classes, which my husband does music. I love art, but you know, I'm not the artist in that perspective, although I am a poet, a speaker, but there's some things that I have to go from with outside of myself to make sure that my child is enriched and engaged and tapping into the strengths that I know she has. So it may require you to go outside of yourself. So she does work independently a lot. When I say independently, I guide her learning and unschooling approach. There's several different approaches to homeschool that you can take. Right now, we're taking an unschooling approach. And right now, she has dictated to me what it is that she's interested in for the winter season to learn. So we did that planning session in the beginning of winter. So she has dictated what she wants to learn during the winter, and I have completely allowed that. She works a lot independently by way of Google Classroom. Google Classroom is 100% free. It's an online platform that allows you to add students and for you to program assignments, announcements. You can do a lot. Track grades, grade assignments. There's so much you can do in the Google Classroom, and it is free. So she works independently a lot by way of Google Classroom. And again, it's like a virtual classroom where you can store all types of things. Like I said, assignments, materials, grades. You can upload links. You can do a whole gamut of things with the Google Classroom. Does she go somewhere physically to work? She mainly works in this room. Right back here are our homeschool norms, which I'll do a video about later. And we have an agreement that she can work in other parts of the house only if she has planned in advance to work in other parts of the house. So she can't be like, oh, I'm going to be on the couch today and I'm going to do my work on the couch today. No, that's not how it works, okay? You have to make a plan about where you're going to work because I want her to be challenged and to eliminate all distractions. So she'll come home from the gym and she will say, you know what, Mom, can I do my work at the kitchen table today? Sometimes the kitchen is her classroom because we have what we call home ec, and she's just in the kitchen doing a hands-on activity. Oh, honestly, I looked up programs like Mathnasium, and it was above my budget. Okay, we are working very hard to be and stay debt-free and just slap down our student loans. So I really wanted her to be a part of the Mathnasium program, but it was just too much money. I am looking for a Spanish teacher for her right now. So if someone would come along that we decide to hire for her to have a Spanish teacher, then yes. Like I said, I know that I will have to go outside of myself to educate my child. So sometimes, a lot of times, we make a plan to go to different locations in our community to do work. So a lot of times we go to the library because everyone knows that there are tons of free resources at the library. And we actually love going to the library. So that's one of the frequent trips that we do every single week. Another thing we do is download the Starbucks app, and we go and we work at Starbucks a lot. and she loves it. She even has a Pinterest board called Starbucks, where she looks up her little Starbucks drinks, and we go to Starbucks and we do our one-on-one direct instruction there sometimes. I would love to, and hopefully in the near future, because I'm believing God to be able to transition out of the classroom in the public school sector, to be able to educate our youth in a non-traditional setting, whether it be social, emotionally, or academically. I do have a passion and a vision just to go full throttle with Best of Me Youth Enrichment Services, which offers a gamut of services, and I'm just hoping in the near future I will be able to exit the classroom only in the time that God would have it for me to do so, because God's timing is always perfect. I have a Facebook group for teachers called Teachers Tea Time, and I would like to begin to do meetups. So if you're not in that group, search it on Facebook. It's called Teachers Tea Time. And I do believe if you're a homeschooling mama or daddy, then you're a teacher. Okay, you may not have a degree to teach, but you are a teacher. If you've taken on the challenge of teaching your children at home, you are the teacher. So join that group, Facebook group called Teachers Tea Time. I would love to do some meetups to talk about and maybe even help each other learn different online platforms like the Google Classroom. I would love to hear more questions from you, and as the series continues to unfold, I will be answering your questions and delving deeper into what I can do to help you homeschool your little ones, and just answer questions. I strongly believe that we as parents are our children's first teachers. So that doesn't mean someone who has a degree or a background in education like me. That means that we are our children's first teacher. That means we should take ownership of their education before anyone else. We should. Even if they are participating in or going to public school or private school or charter school every day, we need to take ownership of their education. They are our babies. So if there's anything I can do to support you in that journey, whether you be a mama, daddy, auntie, uncle, papa, whoever, Mima, if there's anything I can do to support you in your journey to raise your little ones, please reach out to me. Like the Best of Me Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram at Original Sherrie, Yvette, or Teachers Tea Time. Or shoot me an email if there's something I can do or a question you have that you do not want to ask publicly. You can email me at sherrieyvette@outlook.com. If you are looking for someone to help you build your child's homeschool program, reach out to me. If you are looking for someone to help tutor your child, reach out to me. If there's any question that you have about homeschooling, or whether it be about just schooling in general, reach out to me.